This one is called CertaPro Painters. This is a franchise we've covered many times, but they are one of the more well-established home services franchises in the industry, probably the biggest painting franchise. They've been around since 1971. They have, I don't know, probably close to 400 units throughout North America at this point. But basically what CertaPro does is residential and commercial painting. They do interior and exterior painting services as well. So total investment for this business, if you're starting new, is between 171,000 and 246. A lot of that is, just working capital that they want you to have on hand, as well as marketing that you're going to spend to start generating leads pretty quickly. They use subcontractors for the actual painting services. So think of yourself as almost like a general contractor, where you're going to go out, meet with customers, sell the projects, and then manage the projects from start to finish, collect payment, collect reviews, things like that. But all of your actual painters are subcontractors, unless you want to eventually bring those in-house as W-2 employees. So for those reasons, it's something you can start from your home. You don't need an office or a warehouse. You don't need a bunch of equipment like ladders or painting supplies or anything like that, because you're subbing all that out. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of what they do. If we look at their numbers here, so really strong from a financial perspective. So they talk about production year one. So this is if like you signed the franchise agreement in 2022 and 2023 was your first year in business. That's the way I read this. Is that how you read it, Tariq? Yeah. Okay. So they're saying first year in business and production for 12 to 20, first year to two in business. So they're saying top third of performers average 425,000 in revenue. Mid is 411 and bottom 321. So pretty consistent there. So overall, it's about 386. And then if you look at, let's see here, what is the second chart? What am I reading here?
So second chart is year two. The first chart was just year one.
I gotcha. Okay. So year two bumps up to 931, 662, and 466. So an average of 686,000. But then if you scroll down, you look at beyond 2 years, okay, here we go. So beyond 2 years, the average overall is 2.2 million, with the top third averaging 4.59 million. So you can see it, you do pretty well the first couple of years. That's not bad. But then, the leap is after year two, it looks like. So this one, again, like I think the margins are pretty good on this business, because you don't have much overhead. You don't have an office space, you're operating out of your home. But they have a pretty good national brand recognition. They do really well with the marketing. So the pay-per-click advertising, print and mailers, getting your name out there. They do have a lot of resale opportunities. So we've helped 2 different people within the last year buy resales for CertaPro. Because they're so well established. They do have people that are approaching retirement or wanting to get out of the business for whatever reason. So depending on your market, a resale could be a really good path for CertaPro. Or you start with a new unit and you keep your eyes on resale opportunities that might pop up around you. But yeah, this one's a stable industry. Painting's not going anywhere. A lot of residential and commercial applications for this. So you really need to find good salespeople and or be a good salesperson yourself as the owner to drive that growth in the business right away. But yeah, that's pretty much it for CertaPro. Really strong brand. What did I miss there, Tariq?
Yeah. CertaPro. It's funny because we've covered resales a few times with them, but we never had actually covered it in like the entirety. So a couple things that to point out. I mean, Kevin hit on all the like core concepts of the business. Is that, and I was just thinking about it. Some people, especially if you've watched this newsletter a bunch of times, you may realize they don't really ever talk about like retail franchises. And part of that's intentional, is because the risk and reward for service, it just is drastically better. And especially when you look at the sales to investment ratios, and by not having to sign a 10-year lease that you personally guarantee, that's $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a month more. it's just not as scary. Number one. Number two, if you do a retail based franchise, food or whatever it is, you require like Class A real estate. It's going to take about a year to get open, and what we find oftentimes is the people that we work with, they don't want to wait a year to get open and start running their business. So think about it like, okay, even like the mid third, the very first year, like if you've never started a business before, or maybe you've had some side hustles, and like, I know for me, I mean, I hadn't made more than 25 grand in 1 year in any of the side hustles that I had prior to franchising. Like, imagine how crazy would that be? Your year one in business to do $411,000 in sales. Get this, even if you're only break even that year, like even if you didn't actually make a profit, like you are now running a business that has the foundation to build and grow on, and you're doing $400,000 in sales. Like, it's mind blowing. And I know for us that first year when we did 470, it was mind blowing to me. The confidence that it gives you if you've done things and it hasn't worked out in the past is honestly mind blowing. Because I know for me it was personally. And then this supports what it is that I always tell people is that it takes 3 years for your business to reach maturity. 3, I'm like going the wrong way. It takes 3 years for your business to reach maturity. And the best analogy is for those of you who have kids, think about the first 2 years of your kids' lives. They are literally dependent on you for everything, you know, feeding, cleaning, even, I mean, our daughter's almost 2.5 now. And it's like, even sometimes you got to help her get off the stool, helping her go up and down the steps. There's still a lot that we're helping her with. Get in and out of the bathtub. Like, something changes around year 3 with your kids where they're able to start communicating with you more clearly. You can kind of have conversations with them. And so a business is similar. And, I know that it's so tempting to be like, oh, I just want to make a lot of money quickly. But you rob yourself. If you are not doing something because in year 1 you want to make all the money and you want all the reward in year 1, you're robbing yourself of what you can achieve in 3 years or in 5 years by having a shiny object, instant gratification mindset. So go into it with, hey, I'm curious what I'll do in year 3. Because look how drastic. Now, granted, this is 25 months or more, so it's including people that have been in business for 10 years or so. But the numbers are just significantly different. And so where did we get the 2.2 million number? Just to support our title, you can see average production, year 3 average revenue for all 2.2 million. I could have used the 4.5 million number. I didn't. Could have used So anyway, so that's kind of my thing. Is like, I want to just share that gift with you guys of like, don't have the instant gratification mindset, because it costs you more. What happens is you don't do anything. And so like, maybe you would have done something 3 years ago and now today you'd be at that point. But because you wanted instant gratification 3 years ago, you didn't do anything. And so now you're still sitting in your situation right now and nothing's changed. You can't avoid the year 1 and year 2. Even when you buy a resale, it's still hard. And there's different challenges with that. So that's the kind of the main message I wanted to get across there.
I 100% agree. I mean, I always just tell people, like, even if it's a resale or whatever, like, it's not going to be easy either path you go. I was just having a conversation this morning. It's so funny you're talking about this, because I'm like, just because you look at a resale does not mean it's going to be easy or smooth. Like you're going to have to work your ass off. Shit's going to go wrong. You might lose an employee that's a key employee. Like it's just going to be hard. And so, but it's so rewarding, and you'll learn so much that first year or 2 in business. And it's like, not only will your kid mature, like as a business, your business, aka your kid, but also you're going to get so many at bats on things that when you're working in a corporate setting, you have no experience doing, like none. You just have no exposure to it. And the only way you will is if you just step into it. So, yeah, I 100% agree with your message there.
Boom. Let's go. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So as I said before, if let me see if I have if you want to see if If there's a, CertaPro available in your area, go to franchiseempire.com/check territory, and the team can see if that's the case. Or if you just want to find out, hey, what franchises are available in my area that align with my budget and my financial situation, that align with my skill sets, that are available in my area, then you can do that. This is not a click of a button thing. In order for us to check, we need to have a conversation with you. We need to talk to you about what your budget is, and talk through those things before we can then figure out what franchises we're even checking to see are available.